This reading is on the economic collapse. And in the last live stream, the ancestors kept using the word collapse in reference to the low frequency zone, which is a lower level of consciousness. It also represents poverty consciousness. And the ancestors were telling us we need to raise our vibration. We need to elevate our levels of consciousness. We also looked at the emotional balancing scale and how low-level emotions represent low levels of consciousness in the low frequency zone, and how high-level emotions represent higher levels of consciousness in the higher frequency zones. Each of these zones have timelines and endpoints that result in a certain destination. The ancestors were warning us to get out of the low frequency zone because that destination ends in chaos, anarchy, and mayhem, which is going to be tightly controlled by forces that govern that realm, which results in a loss of freedom. However, the ancestors say if we elevate our vibration, our frequency, our energy with higher levels of emotion and activity, we raise our vibration to the higher levels of consciousness, which also represents a timeline that ends in a destination of freedom, liberty, sovereignty, and prosperity. And recently, two things occurred in the financial markets that the ancestors have been telling us about recently. One, the price of silver has skyrocketed like we knew it would, and it's only just getting started. It went from being on an average of $25 per ounce for years, for decades even, to $100 an ounce. We're hearing rumors that it can go up to $200 an ounce in the very near future, any day. But we know that it's going to surpass the price of gold because it's much more valuable. Gold is somewhere around $3,000 an ounce, and it's been there for many years as well, and we know that that's also going to elevate. The ancestors told us that the streets of heaven are paved with gold, and that this was synonymous with a level of consciousness that is elevated on the same frequency as gold. This is also synonymous with the golden age. And the ancestors have been telling us that all of these energies coalescing together are pushing us up into this golden age era at this moment in time. When the price of gold and the price of silver start escalating and elevating quickly, we are absolutely disconnecting from the low frequency zone. The lower vibrational frequencies will be separated completely from the higher vibrational frequencies, which means there'll be no more middle area. And the ancestors showed us this: no more middle ground, no more straddling the fence, no more jumping up and down from lower to higher vibrations. Your vibrations must be stabilized at this point. This is why it's very important to focus on economics. Focusing on economics will keep you balanced, and it'll keep your frequency high if you are sovereign and free. If you are in poverty consciousness, it will put pressure on you, it will put stress on you. And this is what the ancestors have been training us for all of these years, to get out of the lower consciousness fields, to clear and heal the ancestral karma connected to poverty consciousness, and to elevate our consciousness, our vibration, and our frequency to higher levels so that we don't get caught up in that crash. Your belief system also has a lot to do with this. You don't need to be economically successful to avoid a crash, a collapse, or anything like that. This message is just for people that are moving out of poverty consciousness and that are focused on economic growth and legacy wealth. The people who are going to be impacted the most by an economic failure with banks, like we have seen in the past, are going to be people that have invested and put all their confidence and trust into the banks and into the investors, and they are not at the level of consciousness where they understand what we're talking about right now. This is an economic opportunity, and today the federal government classified gold as money. This has been going on in different states previously up until now, but that was the trend. And now this is the new status of gold, which will devaluate the dollar. Dollars are not real money. Dollars are just paper tinder, used in place of gold and silver, used instead of gold and silver. The reclassification of money as gold in our lifetime is a return back to the ancestral ways, a return back to the ancestral paths. And the ancestors have told us many times that they are here and that there is an intergalactic merger going on with our government. This reading is just to give clarity and to help people understand what's going on, that it's a good thing, not a bad thing, but there will be devastating consequences and results for people that are not prepared. It's just like moving to a flood zone and not getting flood insurance. The ancestors want us to be mature, they want us to be conscious, and they want us to be aware, and they want us to be productive, and they want us to grow and to build in this new economy. It is part of our inheritance and part of our destiny as divine sovereign beings. If you haven't already transferred your dollar to gold and silver, you might want to reconsider that decision and talk to a financial advisor, especially if you've invested it all into your retirement. This is where many people have gotten messed up in the past. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but we are going to ask the ancestors, what is it that we need to be concerned about now that gold has been classified as money in the United States? The first card out is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is a beautiful card to bring our awareness to our personal finances here. I'm picking up that the ancestors are saying that this shift is going to be gradual and that you will have time to make the proper decisions. As you can see in this card here, there are, looks like deer here, and you see their ears are up, they're paying attention, they're hearing sounds, and they're alert. And this is what I feel like the ancestors are saying. Also, you see this gold coin that this dragon is holding here. It has these golden rays coming out of it again, which symbolize this gold standard, this gold vibration, this gold frequency. This reclassification of gold is a good thing for everybody, not just for the wealthy, but for the average person, if you're paying attention, if you're alert, if your ears are up, and if you're ready to take action. The next card is the Page of Pentacles, which is another money card. The Page is a small investment, and I feel like the ancestors are saying that now is the time for you to start getting into investing. If you haven't already, there's still time here. They want you to pay attention, watch the markets, see the move of the vibration, see the move of the frequency, see the move of the energy, and take heed to it and go ahead and start learning about investing, getting into investing, and finding out what it is that you can do at this time. The next card is the Eight of Swords. And this card stands for mental confusion, mental pain, mental stress, anxiety, and things like that. And the ancestors are saying, based on the energy in this reading, that that doesn't need to be you at all. So if you have anxiety about your finances, if you have stress, mental stress related to money, the ancestors are also saying now's the time to work on that as well. Now's the time to heal any residue that could be ancestral karma that has to do with money associated with being painful, money associated with fear. It's 11:11 on the clock. The ancestors are saying that there's nothing to be afraid of. They want you to be mature and to make wise choices and wise decisions when it comes to your finances and to money. And they want you to face your fears and your stress and your anxiety about it. I'm also picking up that if you don't do this, then you're making a choice to stay in the lower consciousness fields. I don't know what the particular reason is why you may not want to go in this sector, besides the possibility that you are avoiding stress. and you don't want to deal with any stress. And so you're putting it off and you're just putting it on the back burner. But if you do that and there's a major shift that affects these lower consciousness fields and there's major losses, financial losses involved, then it's a choice. The ancestors want us to know. It's a choice. We cannot be afraid. We cannot give in to anxiety and fear. We must face them. We must be mature about it. If we need mental and emotional support, then it's our responsibility to seek that out. The next card is the Temperance card. This is a beautiful card. In this card, you see a dragon hovering above the water. It's a very fluid card. It's a very peaceful card. It's a very harmonious and balanced energy. And the ancestors are saying now's the time to shift from poverty consciousness into a more balanced and energetic flow with trust and faith and knowing that you're taken care of by the divine, and to cooperate with this energy by balancing your own finances, balancing the way that you spend money, the way that you save, the way that you budget, the way that you balance your checkbook. These things the ancestors are saying, now is time to balance this all out. The next card out is the Ace of Swords, and this is a powerful card. As you can see, there's a dragon here with a sword of the spirit cracking an egg, and I feel like this is the golden egg. This is the goose that laid the golden egg. This is the beginning of the golden era. This is the initiation of the golden age that we've been waiting for. We were alive at the time in history when it happened. It's happening now. We are returning to a gold standard, is what I'm hearing. So this is a beautiful time, and it's also a decision-making time in light of this reading in terms of investing, saving, healing from poverty consciousness, balancing our investments and our checkbooks and our budgets, and really maturing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as it pertains to money. This is a beautiful time, not a scary time. The ancestors are saying it's the time of decision. It's a time of growth. It's a time of maturity and a time of prosperity. The next card on our pathway is the Page of Swords. And this is a beautiful card to be on our pathway because this page is a baby. And you see the butterfly here with this sword. It's the beginning, the blossoming of a new age, a new era, a new understanding, and also a new knowledge. For those of us that are coming up out of poverty consciousness, that we have created a reality that makes it easy and conducive for us to learn how to invest. We have so many apps now that we can work with for ourselves, and we can use these as tools of education to help support our shift into higher consciousness and into how to work with our money, especially in terms of investing in gold, silver, and crypto. In the challenge area is the Strength card. And we see here a warrior. Looks like he's taming a dragon. And he's put down his sword. This is peacetime. This is a great sign of peace. And this is a great unifying factor for the whole world. This is going to unify the world. This new economic reclassification of gold. It's going to put a stop to a lot of the fighting that's been going on because of dollar dominance. It's a fair system that can't be cheated. The only people that don't want this is people that want to continue to steal and to cheat this system. The ones who put the current system in place. The beast himself is being tamed, is being put down by the warriors of the divine and the initiation of this action. There'll be murmurers, there'll be complainers, in the lower consciousness fields, in the lower levels of consciousness. Consciousness that has not matured, that has not elevated, that has not connected to the divine, that has not connected to the flow of the universe, that's just not ready for change, just not ready for growth, just not ready for expansion, just not ready to move forward and to move up into higher states of being and higher levels of consciousness. These will be the ones that will not like this change. The final outcome here is the Two of Cups. This is a cup of unity, equilibrium, and fairness. This is a just decision. It's a reflection of our collective consciousness, balanced, energetically ready, and harmonious. This is a beautiful energy and is supported by the Eight of Cups. We're moving on to higher levels of consciousness, and we're also making peace. We're making peace with ourselves, and we're making peace with one another. We're making peace with the world, and we're entering into a new time of peace, power, and prosperity.